So, good evening, everyone. I'm Megan Fonsdale. I'm the coordinator of Custom Creations.
And I'm Madeline Hutchins. I am the marketing manager for Employment Connections, which is tied in directly with Custom Creations, and I get to help with everything with Custom Creations as well.
Yeah. So, Custom Creations is part of Developmental Services of Northwest Kansas, which is a nonprofit providing services to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities throughout the Northwest 18 counties of Kansas with community-based and outreach programs.
So we are one of the many branches of DSNWK. So our woodshop crew is really what started this all. The gentleman in the center right there, that's Dustin Olson. He is the one that really started this dream. In probably about 2016, we at Employment Connections got furniture donated to us, and Dustin helped with the moving crew and the lawn crew. And after we got the furniture donated, he went to our boss, Levon, and said, could I, in some downtime, he said, could I mess with this? Could I try and redo it or something like that? And she said, sure, whatever you want to do. And the piece he made was just beautiful. And from there, if we got donations that we couldn't send to our group homes, he would redo them and we would just sell them on the side. So I won't jump too far, that's coming up on a slide, about our whole little history, but our wood shop is located out at Employment Connections. So obviously we are just right down the street, one street over, Custom Creations. And so our wood shop is out at 660 Commerce. We have 6 different individuals.
I think about 8 right now.
We have 8 individuals now that work in the wood shop. So all the gentlemen surrounding Dustin are some of our clients that work out there. They have so much fun.
They get paid an hourly wage, so this is their job. They get to spend about 3 days a week throughout the wood shop. They get to come up with the ideas alongside the staff. They get to learn about sanding and painting and different machines that have been donated to us to expand the wood shop. We have also a blow forge, which we'll get more into later on.
It's been great. Since starting Custom Creations, we've gotten several grants that have really allowed us to expand our wood shop into a true wood shop. When we started, it was tools that had been donated, and so they were really just scrapping together what they could, and it's amazing now to see how far that's come and see what they've been able to produce with that.
Yeah, our artists get so excited to experiment with the new tools and learn how to use them. I think we got a router and just edging pieces of wood.
Yes.
So the beginning of our store is, as you can see, it was brick. It was like an abandoned space for about 30 years. And so our boss, Levon, she was one of the first ones in that space. She always talks about the carcasses on the floor and the holes in the floor. And so they really developed it into a very beautiful space for us. And it's a great space for us to be part of the community on Main Street. And people can just walk in, get information about DSNWK, and
For our opening day, we have been open for just over 2 years now, and it's been great. October 15th, 2021. Like anything, you saw the before pictures. It took them, I won't say quite a while to renovate the inside, but it was a lot of work. So our opening day was October 15th. We had announced it to the public. We had a ribbon cutting or something that day, and they told us the week before, we don't think your floors are going to be done. And we said, our floors have to be done. We've already announced it. So 2 days before we were supposed to open, the place was still completely bare. We hadn't moved anything in. We had fans blowing on the floor to try and dry the sealer, and oh my goodness, it was crazy. So in 2 days, we moved all of that furniture in and we completely decorated the place, and that is what it looked like opening day. So it was a large feat that we came together.
So part of being downtown, we're able to participate in a lot of events downtown. So that includes the Hayes Arts Council Art Walks, They have about 4 a year. We participate in Sidewalk Bazaar, which is this picture here, where we put a lot of furniture and items from the past 2 years on sale. They're marked down great. That is during July. We also participate in Wines and Steins, and that's an event to it's just a great way to get the public into a space that usually would not come into the space. And then they tell their friends, and they like come back, and they say, we saw this during Wines and Steins. It grows from these events. So that's the best part about being downtown, is the community around us.
Every event we have, there's inevitably so many people that walk in are just amazed. They're like, we have no idea you've been here. Like, how long have you been here? And we tell them 2 years, and like, we just can't believe you've been here for 2 years and we haven't heard about you. So yes, we love getting to be a part of that and share it with people. We have 3 individuals that work at the store as store clerks. Trudy in the top left, Olivia, and then Josh. Josh actually works in both the wood shop and he works at the store. So that's really cool. He loves getting to share with customers what he does. And we love giving them the opportunity to have a community job and getting to interact with the customers. And each of the clients also make product for the store, so that's something else that they can share with customers when they come in.
Yeah, it's great to have Josh, especially in the space, because he can tell a customer about a piece and what it looked like before, what it was before, and just the story behind it. So every month we try to have a featured artist. One of our featured artists has been Angie Rogers. She has Rett syndrome, so that affects her muscles, and she cannot communicate verbally or with her hands. So she has an eye gaze technology device, so she can use her eyes, just like on a tablet type device. It's called a Tobii Dynavox, and she'll look at the screen and say she wants to say, I want to go to the park today. She'll look at those images on her screen and communicate with her family, with her friends, with her peers. And so what she does on her Tobii Dynavox is she creates artwork. So technology has allowed a program called Jackson Pollock Painting. And so she can pick the colors and practically just paint with her eyes looking across the screen. And doing so, we can print images on mugs, on notebooks, on posters, and she has been a very successful featured artist that her name is becoming known throughout the community. And she has also been one of the featured artists during the Hayes Arts Council Art Walk, which is really a step forward in the IDE community. So, and this is Angie here. So she's very funny, very engaging, lovely lady. So,
what's the IDE community?
IDE is Intellectual and Developmental Disability. Thank you.
Thanks for asking. So we have 5 different day centers within DSNWK that we serve in different towns. So we have Hill City, Atwood, Norton, Hoxie, and Russell. Oh, we have 6.
And Hayes.
And Hayes. 5 surrounding. So we'll start with Hill City. Every location has a unique thing that they do. So at Hill City, they create our Yardsies, which are huge hits. It's we use it it's Yahtzee, but for the yard. So they create, the wood shop will cut the blocks for them. We send them just the raw blocks. They'll sand them down, they paint them, and then they add all the numbers to them. We also have what is called a sublimation machine in Hill City, which is one of our favorite things. I explain it to people as like a really, really fancy heat press. So the sublimation machine is what we use to put Angie's artwork on items. It also makes the Yardsie bags. So we have like a scorecard in there with all the rules on the back for people. In Hill City, they also, that's our only location that sews. And so here's a pillow. So they pick out their fabric. We've done pillows. We've done small little coin purses. I think we've done a bag before. So that is Hill City.
I know, I'm like, I'm so excited to have that.
Okay, one of our next locations is Hoxie. Hoxie is really known for their gourds. So we have a little gourd down there. They also plant the gourds, they grow them, and they harvest them, and then they can paint on them. They're also a location that we connect with that we'll get to later on, but via the screen at our store to have a class together when we have class. We also send kits out to places like Hoxie. So our kits are made from like donated wood. So we cut that to like these trees here.
These were to start with.
Yeah, and we send them out with like all the materials, the paint colors they can choose, and they can pick them out which design they want and really personalize it to their own personality and their interests.
It's a huge task. When we started Custom Creations, expecting staff in the other areas to, maybe some areas aren't as crafty, like Hoxie, they're great at execution, but their staff will admit, like, we don't love coming up with the ideas. And so that's where we come in. Having Custom Creations here in town, we have more of an opportunity. We have more staff that are able to create those kits and give them a vision of what it should be and then let them make it unique to themselves.
Right here.
Norton also does gourds. So Norton has some of our lower functioning clients. They may not be verbal. They may not be able to use their hands. Their fine motor skills aren't as refined. So you can see here, it's a lot of hand-over-hand contact, which the Norton staff are amazing. We do a lot of adaptive artwork with them. So one of the things the staff up in Norton did, they paint wine bottles for us. The client's not able to hold the wine bottle still enough so it doesn't knock over when they're painting it. So she built a little stand for them to put the wine bottle on upside down and paint it that way. We have another gal that can't grip a paintbrush, but she can grip something larger. So they blew up a little balloon, taped a sponge to it. She's able to grip that balloon, and then she could dab paint on that way. So that is one of the other things that Norton does.
Next we have Atwood. Atwood is a higher functioning location. There is some hand over hand. Atwood does a lot of our wall hangings, a lot of our signs. We have a variety right now for the Christmas season. They have very hilarious signs, especially during the Christmas season.
They come up with some pretty funny stuff. Yeah, if you ever come into the store and you
Yeah.
see like a door sign or anything like this, they do a lot of round ones. They've got some pretty funny sayings on them.
They are very talented out at Atwood.
And then Russell is also one of our lower functioning sites. They do a lot of what Norton does. We will send them kits and then staff will work with them. Another thing is sometimes a piece like this, a client won't do it start to finish. Maybe all a client can do is stain the board and then a staff will finish it up. But every piece has been touched by a client in some way, and we want to give them credit for that. So every item, if it was made by an individual, it's got their picture and their name on the tag, so you know who made it. And then that client, when the piece sells, they make commission off of that piece. Whereas the gentleman in the wood shop, they get paid hourly. So if it has a green or a blue tag, it was still touched by a client, but it was probably made over at the wood shop. Like this is from the wood shop. The guys who are experimenting, we do a lot of resin on tables or on bars or something like that. And we have one as a joke in the store, and so many people loved it. The guys wanted to make them in the wood shop to sell. So I spilled the drink.
Great April Fools.
That's fair, that's fair.
And then, of course, we have Hayes. So we have Redevelopmental Center, which is just right around the corner up the street on 13th Street. And we also have a few individuals at Employment Connections that work there during the day. So that's like Tammy. She weaves on her weaving loom. She does scarves and placemats. And she could do that all day if you let her, if her mom did not come up to pick her up at the end of the day.
Tammy gets upset when mom comes
Yes.
when she's supposed to. Tammy does not want to ever stop moving.
And so there's Tammy, and then Twyla was a great artist with us, and she did a lot of embroidery and a lot of detailed painting. And we also have a read class that comes. I don't know if that's the next slide. It's not the next slide.
It's not the next slide. Do you just want to go to the next one? So every week on Tuesday and Thursday afternoons from 1 to 2, we have individuals that come to the store just right there, and they do an art class. And that was always one of our hopes and dreams. That was the whole point of being on Main Street, was so we could interact with the community and they could see what we're all about. And so getting to have our clients there and interacting with customers, we always invite customers to come during that time, and they can come talk to the individuals. They love showing off their artwork. And what Megan was touching on with Hoxie, we have on our big TV, we do Zoom back and forth with Hoxie. They have an art class the same time we have an art class, and so they get to interact with their friends in Hoxie, because there are some people in Hoxie that used to live in Hayes that have since moved up there, so it's really cool getting to watch them interact as well.
Yeah, they get really close to the screen and start waving to each other.
Yeah.
It's like, can't see you guys. So go back to this slide. So this is a picture that shows our flip days. So flip days for us is a monthly day that we take the old furniture completely out of the space and switch it out with the new stuff that was just created in the past month by our woodshop artists. So it takes our wonderful lawn crew and delivery crew. They consist of about 5 individuals.
Yeah, depending on the day, about 5.
Yeah, and they are so hardworking, and this store would not be as great without them because
That is heavy furniture.
very heavy. It
And
is-
we aren't that strong. So yeah, lots of credits to those strong guys for all that they do.
Yeah, so that takes all of Employment Connections staff and the custom creation staff to come together and execute these flip days, which we just had one today. So there is a lot of new furniture in the space right now.
Because as you guys can see, we don't have a huge space, and so instead of having stuff sit there the same month after month, we really want to be able to showcase all those new pieces. So that's why we flip so often.
So when you flip,
Yes.
do the whatever you had the month before go to back to the warehouse?
Yep, it does. Do we have a slide for the warehouse? Oh, I can talk about it right here. So when we do those flips, that furniture goes back to Employment Connections. So you can see in this photo, this is our big warehouse we have that houses all of the furniture that's not able to fit at the store. So every item that we have furniture-wise has been a donated piece to us. We just refurbish. So we're very, very fortunate in that aspect that we don't have to pay for materials or for lumber. Some people come in and they're like, can you build this for us? And I'm like, well, we might be able to add to something, but we don't build from scratch. So we, like I said, with the wood shop, we have 8 guys.
Yeah.
8 guys that work there. With our lawn crew and our moving crew, they will pick up donations for free within Hayes city limits. We tell people, we have people come in and they're like, oh, I love this piece, I just don't know how to get rid of the old one. We're like, well, we'll take it for you if you like. So, anything else to add to that one?
So we take solid wood furniture. We also take craft items. So if you have like extra paint left over from a household project or craft paints or canvases or yarn, we accept those donations as well. And you still take them to 660 Commerce Parkway, or our delivery crew can come pick it up for free. And then there are ways to connect with us. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, and we do have radio ads through Eagle Radio, so you can hear about our promotions or events through that as well.
Megan does amazing posting on Facebook. She posts almost every day. So we always tell people Facebook is just a really great way to stay engaged with us.
And you can engage with us through Facebook, through messaging, or if you bought a piece from us and you want to show it off in your space, you can tag us on your own Facebook page or Instagram page, and we would be glad to share it with the community. Just some photos of the past 2 years, so our customers are wonderful. This is during the spring and summertime, so we have like we have like Easter items, and then this center picture we do a lot of refurbishing chairs into like flower pot chairs, so you can just set it out on your porch, put your favorite plant in. Our bars are one of our biggest selling items next to tables and chairs. They're all very unique. That one's a tiki bar, but they've done like Western themed, motorcycle themed. That's one of the artist's most favorite part, is creating the themes for these
They
bars.
love to theme items.
This is an example of customers sharing their furniture in their space.
I don't think I noticed.
And then we've got some before and after. So some of the furniture, especially when we started out, we were really worried when we started, are we going to be able to keep up with this? Are we going to have enough donations? We have actually had the opposite problem. We have had so many donations that we are running out of room. So if it is in standing condition, they will redo it. So this is one of our pieces. There's a picture coming up that shows one of the pieces that we've taken and just how distressed it used to be.
Can I give Daddy Ozzy Bear?
Oh, it didn't have vanity on it before? That's so cool.
And they just really just revamp it into a totally modern piece.
Lots of
Something that you would see in your grandmother's house in the 50s. And
Yeah.
they just take it to a new level of
That's Sarah's.
So this is an example of, I made that comment, we can build onto something. So that was that an old headboard, I think?
Yeah.
The one with the sliding doors. And so they built up the top to add the bar top on. And then as you can see, added to the front of it. With our Glowforge, as you can see on this piece, if you look at the one over there on the sliding doors, that's an actually engraved drink mix. So our Glowforge, do you want to explain a little bit?
Yeah, so the Glowforge is a machine about this big, and you lay your wood in it. It's usually a plywood, and then it laser cuts into it, and it can cut out shapes. So this angel's wings are cut out on that device. So it connects to a computer. You upload the image or download an image on that computer and then it connects to that machine, and it cuts out these pieces, it cuts out the stars. It can also engrave, so that's the example of on the bar, and engraving the different mixes of drinks and like what types of glasses to use. And it's really cool also that our artists can learn technology, because it is a very more modern way that they're used to, and they can look at a computer screen and be like, I want this to be cut out for this piece of furniture, and those decision-making skills they can grow on.
And that's the same thing with this little guy. All of these small pieces, so you can see here, these have blue tags on them. These were made in the wood shop. The lumber was donated to us by, I want to say Heartland. It was donated to us by Heartland, just a bunch of 2x4s, and they had them cut in random sizes. And so the guys take them, especially around the holidays. I think in July they had made all of our Christmas stuff. I went into the back the other day and they were working on Easter items. So he took this and then he cut out the nose, and the guys did it together in the back. So
Yeah, and it's great to get those donations also from the standpoint of recycling and repurposing, because all this lumber would have usually gone to the landfill, where we're using it to create pieces and repurpose, and that's also very good for the environment.
repurposing. This was an old little paintbrush that they turned into a cute little Santa ornament. So just those small little touches, just little changes, and then change it into something you can hang on your tree. Did you want to say
Our cards. Our cards are made in epoxy, so we have a bunch of Christmas cards available right now. They cut them out, they pick the sayings to go on them, the paper, and it's a great kit that can go out also. This is an example of a hall tree, so that's a space that you can put in your hallway or your entryway, hang your scarves, your coat, put on your shoes.
But yeah, he had taken an old dresser. I like to brag about this one a little. That was my mother-in-law's dresser. And then off an old dresser that no longer needed a vanity, and he added them together and added some hooks to it.
So we get a lot of those TV stands that are bulky and house those square TVs. And so it's like, what do you do with that? So they've made mudroom benches out of them. So it's, again, a great way to repurpose those pieces that would usually just be thrown in the landfill.
Really another pretty before and after. If a drawer or something doesn't work, Dustin will come up with a way. So on this one, that center drawer wasn't working anymore, so he took it off and he added whole crates that you can put in and out.
And again, the paint used is all donated for Oops paint that he goes and finds at Walmart or Home Depot or Sherwin-Williams.
And Oops paint is if a customer buys a paint and it's not the exact color match they need, they just return it to the store and they just put it on a shelf for anybody to buy at an extremely discounted price.
Yes.
So
We take that.
we take that. This is one of the pieces that was just, I looked at this piece when we got it as a donation, and I was like, oh, that one's probably too far gone. We're probably going to take that one to the landfill. And Dustin's like, no, I think we can redo it. And I went, are you crazy? And he did, and he turned it into that really beautiful piece. So I love to show people this one, and something can be so far gone, and they always find a way to incorporate it into something beautiful.
So this is an old record stereo 8-track system, and they turned it into a drink station. So it's a place where you can put your ice in the tin bucket, put your drinks for event you're holding, and we've turned a lot of these into drinks.
And the front was all glow forged. Again, a big piece of wood he had, and he cut all that out. There's a little fun like tic-tac-toe bottle cap game on there that he engraved and put in there.
Oh,
I think that's the last one.
are there any questions?
I'll just say I bought several items. I bought several Angie's things. I got at my office downstairs, I have one of her mouse pads. It's beautiful every time. I've got one of her magnets. They're amazing. You were talking about the funny Christmas things. I needed a gift for a party I was going to, and I bought one that said, "The tree's not the only thing getting lit this Christmas." That's the kind of stuff you get. But they have amazing things. I've also seen some of the GlowForce things that they've done. They've done a bunch of like little charcuterie boards with people's names on them and stuff like that they could give for gifts. They do amazing stuff.
Thank you.
What do you guys, as employees, what do you actually, I know you do social media. What do you actually do?
So my job as coordinator is coordinating like the flip days, what furniture comes in and out of the store, deliveries, making sure the store and my employees are all on the same page. I also go out to the wood shop twice a week and work alongside our artists and create kits. And from that side,
When Custom Creation started and we got the storefront, my job is I go out in the community and I help people find jobs and keep jobs. At the time Custom Creations was starting, like I said, it's just a part of Employment Connections as well. I had an injury. I had 2 surgeries on my leg and I couldn't walk. And so my job was I kind of set up the database. So I set up how we enter the items we use the Square. And so I came up with how we categorize items, put them in the system, SKU them. And so ever since then, I also get to work at the store. Megan I cannot brag enough about Megan. She is our 3rd store coordinator we have, and we hope that she never leaves. So I also get to work down at the store too, like just as a clerk if they ever need me.
So with tagging the items, it's a little different than a mass production item because each individual has a specific SKU number and item number. So when that item sells, it goes straight to them. So at the end of the month, they get a check and with the items that they sold. So if somebody has the wrong name, it very much messes up with our system. So we have to be on track on top of that. And then we can also pass around some of our items.
Or feel free to come up and look. So
There's Angie's.
Yes, I wanted to say
Of
that.
course.
That is really,
She does wonderful abstract artwork.
So you buy the mug,
Yes.
and then she does the work on the computer, and then you transfer it to, is it at PC?
So this is something done in Hill City. So since her artwork is done on a computer, we can just send it digitally. Oh, I said so hard to say. To Hill City's computer, and then with that sublimation machine, which is like a heat press, they put that in the heat press, and then it wraps around that mug, and her artwork is on a mug.
That is amazing. That's wonderful that you recognize
her
the,
picture and her name, so you know who created it. And if you become a fan of that artist, you can say, "Oh, I need a piece from Angie."
and we can look it up in our system and tell you which pieces were made by that specific artist.
So these are candy scarves. They're very popular in the winter time, but they can also be used as a runner.
Yeah, I have one for the fall that I put on my entertainment center. It's like a runner. So
Exactly, yes, the golden thread.
And she does multiple.
yeah, the tension is just perfect.
So she actually learned how to weave with the Fort Hays Collaborative Art Project. It was a collaboration between art students and the individual served by DSNWK. And they did a lot of weaving. So Tammy just was drawn to that immediately. So with the store starting, she got to continue to weave. And now she gets to do it every single day.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but did Fort Hayes donate any of our looms to us?
Yes, they did donate 2 looms to us. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
cool.
Our little gnomes.
So these are like some gnome ornaments. So this is like all donated yarn. And
Thank you. My. This is higher level.
I give them credit. I love being a part of the store, but I am not always the most crafty person. So I tell people I don't know how Dustin, like I said, he's been doing this for many years now, but he's always got so many new, fresh ideas. Oh, and I was standing in front of this the whole time.
this is an example.
Yes, but this is like one of the pieces of furniture. It was old drawers taken out of a dresser that they couldn't use anymore. And then, I'm going to say these are chair legs, table legs, something.
Yeah.
And so they added them together and made a cute little shelf out of it.
That is clever.
And we've got,
I see all this stuff a lot.
I'm always in the store. And we've got flyers and forms about our donations and just as DSNWK as a whole. So if you'd like any of those when you're done, to come grab one.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for attending this evening.
And I know we have a drawing
Yeah.
or a gift card.
Woo, free stuff.